beers. Bloody brilliant
Beers.
Bloody brilliant sport.
Yeah, g'day guys, and welcome back to the Bloody Brilliant Beers podcast, brought to you by Bluebet.
That's Klutz and I'm Darcy, and we are the Bloody Brilliant Beers. We started off reviewing craft beers on Facebook, and now we bring you the conversations you'd more than likely hear from the front bar at your local. And Klutzy, what's our local?
Mate, it is the Caxton Hotel, and we are stoked to be here as always.
Once again, back.
Big shout out to the Caxton for having us. It is the greatest fucking pub in all the land.
Had a lovely little arvo up here, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. It's
Couple
been
bowls
good.
of wedges.
Yeah.
What else have we had?
Couple of blokes down our throat, baby.
Fucking oath. And before we kick off this podcast like we do every week, we must get a bloke down our throat.
I've got to finish the bloke that's in my throat.
Yeah. Shout out to Kempy, sponsor of the podcast. As always, absolute all-round legend. Bloke in a Bar beer. Get some down your throat. Go to blokeinabar.com and enter your postcode in the store locator.
You should be able to find where to get it.
You find your local stockist. And if there's nothing nearby, go to your local bottler and go, fucking get some bloke in, bull.
Yeah, pull your head out of your rectum. That's basically it.
And just like us, you can get bloke down your throat whenever you please. Now,
That's it.
this is the sport podcast, obviously. As we say every week, if you're here for analysis and a breakdown of stats and that sort of thing,
Kindly fuck off.
kindly fuck off. That's not what you're about to hear. It's just basically an hour of pub dribble that revolves loosely around sport. But before we do get into it, Josh, there's a little envelope. Well, it's actually quite a big envelope
It's a very big envelope.
for those not watching on YouTube. What would this be? Bigger than A4?
I'm going to say it's probably...
It's not
maybe-
A3.
maybe It's not A3, but...
It's bigger than A4 though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what
So,
that means.
I don't know.
So on the front, it's a photo of me. It says, for the full-time podcaster, love Donny. So for those who don't know and haven't been listening to our podcast the last couple of weeks, Donny Sports has his own podcast that he also runs out of the Caco. Check him out. Him and his mate Geordie. They make great rugby league content, great content in general. He's an avid Cowboys supporter, actually, and
He's a fucking dribbler.
he is a dribbler, and he was quite confident in his prediction that the Cowboys were going to beat the Broncos last weekend, and of course we all know how that went.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, my case of bloke wasn't up here when we got up here, which is what he actually owes to me. So I guess that bet lives to die another day. But this says, for Darcy, read all pages. How did I know this is what it was going to be? So the first photo basically is JT hugging someone, maybe Michael Morgan.
Does it say something there?
No, I think
Oh,
that's
maybe
just
on the next
scratched in
slide.
from the front.
Yeah.
2015 grand final. Yep. And then Kyle Feldt scoring the game-winning try, 2015 grand final. Someone collecting wooden spoons.
Yep.
Was that at the Broncos?
Yes, someone from actually our old school threw a whole bunch of wooden
Wooden
spoons onto the field.
Onto Red Hill, yep.
Yeah.
So there's another one of exactly that. And then it's the Cowboys with the trophy in 2015. Another photo of Kyle Feldt.
Look at the back of this, it says.
And then it says, there's actually a handwritten note. Hello, you fuckwit. Fucking can barely make it out. It looks like a 2-year-old wrote
Jesus
it.
Christ, that's worse than mine.
It would seem I've lost our bet. I will now give you two options. One, a case of bloke, or double or nothing, you cat. Loser wears the other team's jersey on the pod plus 2 cases of bloke. To find where to buy the buy the case, put your postcode in the store locator at blokeinabar.com. Look, challenge accepted.
Yeah, right.
I don't have a Cowboys jersey though, and I'm not going out to buy one. Like
No.
if
I think this
You know
also
what I mean?
shows the caliber of the person that we're dealing with here.
yeah,
You
I
know,
think
like
you're
they
right.
can't accept loss, and also
Yeah.
they live so far in the
2015, bro.
past.
Yeah, it's
Is that
nearly
8
10
years ago?
Yeah, 8 years ago. Yeah, it's not even
Jeez.
8 days since you lost to us,
No.
bro. Not even 8 days.
No, not
since
even
you
8
lost
days.
to us.
I just think it really shows the caliber of the person, and if that's what the supporters are like, it's no wonder the Cowboys went out there and lost the way that they did.
Exactly. And just as I took your bet on in the first week, mate, I'll take your bet on in fucking August or whenever it is, and
Yeah.
you can just happily cry from now until then, I
Yeah.
guess.
I like it.
But yeah, go the fucking Broncos. Also, I love the Cowboys, but
Yeah.
honestly, just take your licks when they're given. Like,
Yeah,
don't
that's
come
it.
at me like that and then, clutching for straws. Talking,
think it's-
talking about Ashley Klein shouldn't be an NRL ref. That's how you
Yeah.
know you're a fucking
Yeah.
sore loser. Oh, the ref shouldn't be reffing. Like,
Oh, it's the
fuck
referee's fault. No, there's fucking 17 people on your
yeah.
team that went out there and
they barely
didn't win.
touched Corey Oates. Well, how did his fucking jaw break in half then,
Yeah.
Bull?
It's
Talk me through
ridiculous.
that.
I just think like we could go on and call him all different names under the sun here, but it's just embarrassing.
It
Like
is.
if I'm Don, I'm embarrassed for the way that I've handled myself over this. Like,
Pre and post.
yeah, I've put up a bet. Yeah.
Quite loudly as well.
Quite loudly. And then I've lost the bet that I've put up.
Yeah. And now you're clutching at straws at referees in 2015 and all that sort of stuff. And you know what the funny thing is, like from now until August, like I honestly, as Josh and I say every week, we have these conversations, we forget what we talked about.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he's thinking about it every day.
Yeah. I would say that you're living rent-free in the Dom
Absolutely. Taking up so much real estate too.
Not really a Donny move. More of like a low-level thug.
A cucky move.
Cucky move.
Cucky
Sports. Cucky Sports, hosted by Thomas.
The cuck engine.
Thomas the cuck engine. That's got a good ring to it. Yeah, you're a cuck. Anyway, Donny,
we
look.
tried to be nice. You brought this upon yourself.
Cucky, have fun living with yourself for the next couple of months, mate.
You shall now be known as Cucky from now until August, whenever the fuck it is.
Well, maybe to the end of time.
But yeah, especially if you fucking lose 2 in a row. But
anyway, if you want to find out where Cucky is, go to Cucky Sports on Instagram, and you probably won't find it because he's gone into hiding because he's so fucking embarrassed about how he's handled himself.
Yep.
That's it. Anyway, that was rugby league.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. But no, in all seriousness, rugby league was fucking awesome on the weekend.
Rugby league's always awesome, Josh.
It is. Now, one of my favourite things to come from this weekend was people are saying it's arguably one of the worst games of football they've ever seen between the Knights and the Tigers.
Yeah.
It was pretty shit.
It was pretty shit.
But something came out of it that we actually spoke about last year.
Chances of me remembering it?
Tyson Gamble and his aggressiveness.
Oh, yeah.
When the Broncos were going shit, maybe it might have been 2 years ago. They were going shit. The only person that was really putting in all
Having
the
a
time
dig.
was
We
Gamble.
did say this, yeah.
Yeah. And mate, he's gone to the Knights. Ponga gets a HIA. Tyson
They've
comes
taken
on.
a gamble, I guess you could say.
They've taken a gamble on Tyson Gamble.
So what Josh is about to read out, I'm pretty sure this is actually false.
Yeah, this is false, but for a few days this was
Circulating.
seemed to be true.
Yeah.
He actually came out and said that he commented something being like, this wasn't even the quote. But honestly, wouldn't be surprised if it came out of his mouth.
I also wish it was the quote.
Yeah, I wish it was too. But basically, there's this photo of Gamble holding Charlie Shitstains. And it's got a good one, dickhead.
I think he's talking to Dewey.
Oh, I thought he was talking to Charlie.
No, because Dewey got up to play the ball and knocked it on.
Oh, okay,
kicked it
sorry for
forward.
doing
Yeah,
a
yeah.
drive-by on you like that, Mr. Staines.
But Staines is in the photo, so you're not really lying.
So, yeah, good one, dickhead. Fuck that one up, didn't ya? Yeah, lay there, you fucking pussy. Everyone knows you're faking it. Look at ya, tall motherfucker. See, I told you were faking that cramp. Yeah, come on then, cunt. Hit me, you tosser. Let's fucking go. Yeah, throw those forearms, cunt. Forearms like wet noodles. You're as soft as the rest of your team plays footy. Come on, dickhead. Got any more? Your season can't get much worse, cunt. Might as well fucking throw a real punch, you string bean. Fake a cramp to explain being you can't fake a cramp to explain being 17th on the ladder. Now, if that was real, that would go down as one of the all-time sledges.
My favourite parts about that and sledges in general are just like the real rogue comments that are like, they're true, but like you're tall.
Forearms like wet noodles.
Yeah, but the part like, look at you, look how tall you are.
Yeah.
Like,
Look at you.
I
Look
am
at you,
quite
gangly
tall.
fuck.
I was actually at the Dolphins game on the weekend on Saturday out at KO Stadium, and Corey Horsburgh took a hit up, and someone from the crowd just near me screamed out, "Someone bashed the ranger," which actually was like, "Oh, we should do a segment on the best sledges you've ever heard," and then that was obviously pre this happening, so that's just tied it in nicely. But
for my own personal one, probably my favourite one I've ever done.
Yep.
I wasn't playing, but it was the 4th grade grand final, and I was fucking bent at Ballymore.
Yep.
And one of my mates was playing for Brothers. I won't name him because this is a bit of a drive-by on him.
Yeah, that's fine.
But he was playing centre, and the boys were on a roll, and I was like, I'm not sure what's receding faster, your defensive line or your fucking hairline.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And I saw him afterwards, and he
Rattled.
hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Yeah. Do I know this person?
No, he's friends with one of our mates' older brothers.
I see. I love that's hurtful.
Yeah.
Which is, but it's also kind of funny. Like it's
Yeah.
witty. But my favorite ones are just like the really, really random ones. Like, and there's a mixture in here of proper hurtful ones. But like, this one just says number 13. your mum wears board shorts to the beach. Like rocked. Rocked.
The mum ones are good. We had a fella, Patio Tool. His one used to be before people taking a kick. Your mum can't cook.
Yeah, rocked.
Like, can you imagine that? It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
like,
well,
it's either, man, like, do I know what good cooking is? Do I know what good kicking is? No, I don't know what good cooking or kicking
all I
is.
do know is this man's in my head.
Or it's like, you know what? Mum actually is a terrible cook. And I've been struggling with this for years.
Either way, you're fucked.
And you've just brought it up. I'm in my one happy place, which is the footy field, thinking about not my mum's terrible cooking. And now you brought it on me. And you brought shame on me and my family.
The other thing is you can't just argue back with, well, my mum is a good cook. Well, my mum is a good cook. Like, you know what I mean? There's no way to win from there. So these are a few good ones that got sent through by the frothies. Got called the caravan while playing local league AFL because I was always 5 metres behind. All you're doing out there is casting a shadow. This one personally I'd feel so offended by this and probably only eat like pure protein and no carbs or fats for the rest of my life. You look like a melted gumboot. Hurtful. Similar to Freeney's melted wheelie bin, which I thought was also pretty good.
Yep.
Your mum works at Crazy Clark's. Is that shut? Whatever happened to Crazy Clark's?
I don't know.
What else have we got? How can you go home to the wife and kids and tell them that you got out to that sort of shit? Obviously a cricket one.
Yep.
You got a better chance at fingering the queen than kicking this.
Jesus, and she's all bone.
This one's pretty rogue. Learn the rules, mate. They're tattooed around your mum's arsehole. Tell her to spread them. And my personal favourite, which came in by longtime friend and supporter of the podcast, Dave McKenzie, trots driver, brilliant arts jockey, basically.
Yep.
This bloke must listen to the Bloody Brilliant Beers podcast because he's shit. Again, that would get in my head.
Yeah, it would. And to that, Dave, I'd say, Jesus, you're as slow as fucking brilliant art.
Have you caught much chat playing 6th grade about the podcast at all?
Fuck yeah, all the time.
Good chat or bad chat though?
Bit of both. Some of it, it's like you're throwing chat at someone playing 6th grade football. Like, it's not going to affect
I have
me.
enough problems in my life.
Yeah, fucking oath. No, I've copped some. There was one night at Brothers. It was fucking oily as. I dropped the pill a few times. Would have fucking caught if it was a beer, wouldn't ya? Yeah,
Classy.
no shit. Yeah.
Classic.
You know what? I probably would have.
Yeah, it's a fair point. I would have.
Yeah, it's a bit easier to grip. I've had a few. At Redlands, I was copping it in the major semi last year from this one fella. He was the coach of the other Redlands team. And then I came off and he was giving me a bit more shit and I was just like going with it. He's like, nah, you're a good cunt. Scull a beer. So I got a beer and sculled on the sidelines and then we're all friends. So that was
That's
a way
all
to,
that matters,
yeah.
yeah.
And I don't know. Like, that was a way to champ someone with their hate.
Skull a bit, I guess.
Yeah, that's it.
Get a bloke down your throat.
You can't just play footy all the time.
You can't just play footy all the time and throw chat.
That's it. But yeah, sledging is one of the great parts of sport.
Oh, it is.
And if you
especially
can-
done well. Like,
Yeah.
everyone can be an arsehole and a bit of a prick, but like if you can be witty and get in someone's head with something that's like,
Yeah.
don't be a bad person about
No,
it. Like,
no.
Yeah, but if you can be funny and witty and put someone off, I'm all
Yeah.
for it. Like, your mum's cooking sucks is a fucking perfect
There's
example.
a few older fellas that we play against and it's just like, fuck. It's going to be rough going home to the family to tell them about this one. Hey,
Yeah.
you've had an absolute shocker.
Shocker. Yeah,
and it's
Barry
just like,
Crocker.
because that one hits home a bit more as well. Obviously, we don't really have fucking
Kids
families
and
to go
stuff,
home
yeah.
to. But you can tell that would actually hurt.
Rock you, yeah.
Yeah, it would rock you a bit.
Oh, how's footy, Dad? Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to talk about it.
Oh,
mate.
great.
It's like, probably shouldn't be doing it
They
anymore.
talked about your mother's cooking again.
What I would love is, this sounds sort of fucked, but could you imagine having a sledge that good that someone actually like stops playing?
Yeah.
Like that's one, it's sort of fucked, but at the same time it's like, yeah, okay, I got the good oil here.
Yeah, I got
the good stuff
I've got
here.
this, yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Same game. Tigers Knights.
Yeah.
The Knights lost 5 people during the match, I believe.
Something like that. Head knocks.
Head knocks.
Et cetera.
Knocking people's heads off. Shout out to Jacob
Yep.
Saifidi, you psycho. But basically what I took away from it was the rugby league gods are trying to literally gift the Tigers a game. As Hello Sports said on their podcast earlier this week, they literally got 2 games in a row at Leichhardt.
Yeah.
Like the NRL's trying to get them to win.
Dude, Alex Twal nearly scored a try.
Yeah, and he had it knocked out of his hand.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Alex Twal has played over 100 first grade games and he's never scored a try, which is fucked in like dead set ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's a record that I don't think that will ever be broken.
There needs to be an investigation.
There's a reason why it's a Tigers player as well. But rugby league gods have been trying to give them a win.
Yep.
And they just literally are so allergic to winning they couldn't do it.
They're actually allergic to winning.
I think they
get
are
the
actually
EpiPens
allergic.
out for when they do get a fucking
It's
next
like
win.
me with lemongrass. They just get itchy at the thought. Anyway, Benji Marshall, Tigers stalwart, he has bought into the club as a coach. Now, he's not the head coach yet, but he will be in 2 to 3 seasons' time. Do you think he has buyer's regret already?
Yeah.
Seeing what is happening, they've brought in decent players as
They
well.
have signed a few good players.
They have a way better roster than some other teams out
Yeah.
there.
You look at like the teams like the Dolphins who don't have a very good roster on paper.
And they've
like
never played together, most of them.
that's exactly what I was going to say. Like they definitely have some good players, but like no like marquee signing, I guess. Like their best players, I would argue, would be like the Bromwich brothers, who are guns. But they're I would say and Felice. I would say they're all like more on the experience side.
Yeah.
Like not they're
at the back end of their career.
Exactly.
Like their
They're still
experience
playing
has been fucking awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Their
not,
value comes in experience, not so much as it did when they were like.
They're not like Staines, Naden, Laurie, and Papali'i who've gone, and Johnny Bateman's a bit older, but Coruscant as well.
Yeah, Api Coruscant, perfect example.
Mate,
Hooker
phenomenal
players.
players.
Yeah.
Hooker playing for the Origin for Blues.
Yeah.
Like, it's just ridiculous. But I think Benji might have a bit of buyer's regret. Now, Darce, it's good that you brought up all these points because I was going to say I think you, out of anyone, could probably relate to buyer's regret the most recently.
Yeah, why is that?
Talk us through your protein shaker, mate.
Oh, fuck me, mate. I had an absolute shocker yesterday. So, literally working, don't have a job anymore. Basically, this is my job. So, Monday, I'm like, sweet, going to get back in the gym, get healthy because I just haven't been exercising for the past, like, 3 years.
Doesn't show.
Yeah. Well, I've got my shirt on, so wait till that comes off. Anyway, to go to get some protein powder and a fucking shaker to have after I train. And I walked into the protein shop, and as I said in our group chat, like, I'd rather be in literal hell than a fucking supplement store. Like, it's so shit.
Yeah.
Chick behind the counter did not want to borrow from me. Did not want to help me stand there on her phone. I was like, whatever, I'm just going to grab the first bag of protein I see, which I did. Get to the counter, and I was like, can I have a shake or two? Behind her, there was heaps of them. She's like, yep, sure. Grab one. Didn't even ask me. Just put it straight in. I was like, whatever, they're all the same. Get home after the gym to have a shake. Open it up. You've got your protein shake, right?
Yeah.
And on the side, it's got the milliliters measured out. So you can measure. Look at the back of the protein, okay? 300 mils, whatever it was, for one scoop. That sounds great. Start filling up. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? This shake is literally solid and you cannot see through it. So I'm like, why the fuck?
What's the point?
What's the point of having these things on the side?
Bit ridiculous.
So ridiculous. So for like 30 seconds, I'm just standing there like trying to hold my finger. I'm like, why am I bothering with this? Like, they're just fucking guesstimate, right? Get it close.
Like, it would have been like 14 to $20. I'm
yeah, I
assuming.
honestly could not tell you. She didn't. Anyway, so I was like, that's fucking inconvenient, but like not the end of the world. Like, just deal with that. Have a guesstimate. It's not going to kill me.
Yeah.
Get through that fucking saga. Open up the protein. Oh, where's the scoop? Can't find it. That's really weird. It's in like a soft bag.
Yeah.
Poking and prodding. I'm like going like a tube of toothpaste from the bottom and pushing it all the way up, trying to find the scoop. Nowhere. Get to the top, nowhere. So it's got to be in there. So I got a huge Tupperware, like wide, tipped the whole thing into the Tupperware. So I was like, I'll find the scoop. No scoop. No fucking
See,
scoop.
that is fucked.
No fucking scoop. Now I've got a Tupperware full of protein with no scoop. So I'm just using a fucking tablespoon. Couldn't tell you what the dosage is.
That's
but
so
I guess
annoying.
tune in 8 weeks to see if the fucking
the
game
big
train
horse
have
on the
visited.
loose.
Yeah, I'm so sore. You have no idea. Like,
Yeah, his titties are bulging.
oh fuck. Anyway, yeah. So
but
that's my
you can see the
fucking
gains already.
shout out to Elite Sups at
Yeah.
Chermside. I'll never be back.
Yeah, the other thing we were discussing from that though, because a few of us were like, who fucking cares how much water goes into it to mix it up? But it turns out that actually has an effect on it for taste, but also for overall absorption, which I don't know. I was sort of like,
Does it actually?
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
Yeah, right.
And that's what we even went as far as getting, or some of the boys went onto Chat GPT to write stuff about it. There was a story about DArcy and his shake, and it was quite funny. But yeah,
I do feel a bit like Benji Marshall, if that's what you're getting at.
I was going to say, basically what you're feeling and what you've just said is exactly how Benji's feeling, but he can't publically say it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And my total was like 59.95. He's probably way more
His
invested.
is his life.
It'd be way more invested.
It's his life.
Yeah, fucking hell. If I was invested in this protein shaker for life, I don't know what I'd do. I wouldn't be happy.
Toss it out, get another one. See you
if
later.
like Venom Protein or someone out there's listening wants to jump on board as a sponsor, reach out because I've had just about enough.
He's about to level up.
He's
about to level up. Anyway, buyer's regret. Don't get it.
Yeah, I've got it.
Now, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone out there as well who's been raising concerns with me, checking on my well-being and seeing if I'm all good after the weekend.
Yep.
Obviously, the Storm have gone down to the Bulldogs.
It happens.
It happens. We were severe underdogs, but I don't think the pricing should have been as it was. I believe on Bluey we were about $1.50 and the Bulldogs around over $3.
So you're a favourite, you mean?
We were favourites.
Yeah.
Correct. But we were missing so many players. Now, I may or may not have said last year that there's no excuse for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because you have such a big roster, 30 players, yeah.
But when you look at the calibre of boys out,
of course. I forgot that's different when it's you. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's always different when it's me.
Yeah. Me too, to be fair. So.
If you look at the calibre of people that were out and how many other people were out, I think like both of our reserve centres were out.
Yeah.
As well
Lucky
as...
you've got a squad of 30 though.
Yeah, I know, but you don't have 30 centres.
No, you don't.
But just for everyone saying that the Storm are done, particularly shout out to our mate Fitzy who's been looking after us.
He's saying the Storm are done?
Mate, he texted us the other day in that group chat and he's like, Broncos are making finals. Oh, Dolphins are making finals and the Storm are fucking done. And I was like, this just shows that you're from fucking Victoria and you love your AFL and shit. Now, mate, if you're listening, it has upset me because you're simply fucking wrong, Michael.
Much like I'm living in Donny's head, you're living in Clutzy's head.
Yeah, you are, and it's really fucking me off. Anyway, we got some boys back this weekend, a couple of notable ones. Justin Olam, Xavier Coates.
They're big ins.
They're massive ins. Tui Kamakamika, Trent Loirio. I actually don't know how to pronounce his last name because I don't know if the Storm have put out a video saying how to pronounce people's last names.
Probably not outside the top 30 anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And then Tarek Sims is about to start. Now...
He's a fence builder of note.
He is. He really is. Tarek Sims was signed. He's towards the twilight of his career. And I was surprised we got him. The reason why I was surprised, and it leads into my next point, is we were linked to a bloke, Nathan Brown, from the Eels for ages. And the reason why I'm bringing up Nathan is one of the most connected players to random clubs ever. Over the last 3 years, Nathan Brown has been linked to Melbourne, linked to staying at Para, linked to going to Manly, linked to going to fucking the Roosters where he is now.
The chain.
Bloke has been linked everywhere. And
chain.
He is the chain.
It's
chain
linked.
of the NRL.
Yeah.
Now, I actually last year was going on about how annoyed I was that he was coming to Melbourne, because I
hate it when blokes come.
Yeah. No, I love it when blokes come. Just not certain blokes.
Yeah, no.
I saw a pattern of play where I was like, I don't know, this bloke doesn't stand up to the big fellas.
Yeah.
Now, look, I could be completely wrong. And credit to you for having such a long career in the NRL, but fuck.
Clutzy needs big fellas
coming.
coming.
I need big fellas coming and turning up to come. That's all I'm asking for.
With other friends.
And Nathan, I don't really think has been turning up to come.
No.
But that's okay. I don't think there's ever been a player more shopped in history, which is saying something.
The chain.
But considering Aaron Rodgers in the NFL at the moment, we'll get into that. Now, I also had another little thought. I heard something how the Roosters, apparently in the off-season, there was talk that the players were saying this is like the best team assembled, best thing ever. Back in the 2000s, Philadelphia Eagles brought together what was called the Dream Team, and all the players were going on about how they made this roster that was the Dream Team, and it was like the best in the fucking league, and they were going to win a Super Bowl and all this sort of shit because they just brought together this amazing team. Well, they fucked up.
Yeah.
They did all the talking during the preseason. They didn't show up. They didn't go that well. And I think we might be getting a repeat with the Roosters this year.
Well, you think they're all talk?
I think they're all talk.
Talk back radio.
Yeah.
Maybe the Roosters should start a podcast. All talk. Maybe they should go on Tom and Eddie's podcast.
Maybe they should. Well, a few of them have. And it's been a bad pattern of play for them.
Coincidence?
Connor Watson went on.
Brandon Smith?
ACL. Brandon
Well,
Smith.
he's not injured.
Fucked ribs.
Got folded by...
Got fault, but he's out.
Is he
out at
out?
the moment. He's out at the moment with broken ribs and
There you
shit.
go. That's what happens
He's
when you're like
fucked.
Finn Diesel.
So, okay, you've completely changed my narrative here. For the Roosters to continue their downfall, we need to get more of them on the Hello Sport podcast. Because evidently, when you go on there as a Roosters player, you get injured within a couple of weeks.
Yeah. And we don't want anyone
So,
to get injured.
We
Like,
don't want them
that's
to get injured,
obviously.
but like obviously not like threatening injuries or anything like that. But we do want to see the Roosters brought down a peg and bad luck on them. So
There's nothing more than we hate than, I don't know,
I just
New
think
South Wales, basically.
if it's true that they were going on about how they got the best team or whatever,
Yeah.
fucking show it on the field.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it off the field.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
Don't
just
be all talk.
It's just fucking, be no talk.
Be no talk.
Become like a fucking
Perform.
monk. Be a monk.
Be a monk. Yeah. Live in silence.
Yeah, live in fucking silence, man.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Actually, Donnie, you can take a note from that book as well. Live in silence.
Yeah, be a monk. Shave your head and become a fucking monk.
Good luck having a podcast when you live in silence.
It could be ASMR. Wait,
And just hear his tears rolling down his face, landing on the bench.
yeah, it'd be sick.
Yeah.
It could be
And
like
in the
that.
background, just
It's just different ways of Corey Oates coming into view like this.
No. That's
like
all.
where you're going.
That's all I did on Saturday morning when I woke up. I was still blind. Just kept sending him voice recordings of me doing that.
That would have been annoying as fuck. All right, moving on from the NRL. Our boys over in India. There was a draw.
Was there? I didn't even know the result. There you
Mate,
go.
5 days. By the 4th day, they weren't even up to the second innings.
Shit.
So we bowled them out, I think, towards the end of the 4th day. And then we went in and declared, I don't know, it was an absolute shit show. But I've understood why. So if you have a look at for those who don't know now, in the cricket, there's like sort of a championship. So you play against different teams, accumulate different points, and it's sort of like any other fucking sport where at the end you
So
play off for like a grand final.
So Australia and India's series, basically, they earn points which go to what's a higher table, which all of the nations play in.
All the nations are playing in, and it's just accumulated differently, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. So Australia and India up the top. India, if they drew or like if they lost that last game, even though they would have drawn the series, there was potential for them, depending on how Sri Lanka went in New Zealand, to not make the Chess Championship final in England later in the year.
Get that, India.
Get that, India.
Yeah.
So they've gone ahead and doctored another pitch, but this time they've made it an absolute road where it's basically impossible to get
What a
out.
conspiracy theory.
That's, So essentially what I'm thinking is that they have now made an absolute road so that it's going to be drawn out.
Yeah.
And
They can't lose, basically.
and it's like, okay, we're just going to accept the fact that we're going to have a draw, we're going to win the series,
And we're going to play in the final.
and we're going to play in the final against Australia again.
Yeah, right.
Because now it's us two in the Test Championship
England.
final in England. But I think the most there's two massive fucking takeaways from this. Usman scored 180
Long sleeves.
long sleeves.
Yeah.
100%.
Solidifying the long sleeve approach.
Long sleeves reign supreme.
It's
throughout
now
the whole
it's
thing.
now not so much of like a hunch. It's like, well, that's a thing.
It's not a theory anymore.
Yeah,
it's
it's
proven.
Yeah.
But the other thing to show that it was a road and that it was all rigged is that Virat Kohli scored 186.
Yeah, right.
Like if Virat can score a century, anyone can on
Isn't
that.
he like the best batsman in the world?
Bro, he hasn't scored a Test century since 2019. That was
Really?
his first
Holy dooly.
in 4 years.
I thought he was like the best in the world.
No, he's lost it.
Lost the plot ball.
But now he's on a road, so he's all G. But basically, if Virat can score 186 out there, there's hope for anyone.
Exactly.
All right, so if you're listening to this and you think your cricket career is done, just think
Buy a
Virat
long sleeve
Kohli
shirt.
just did that. Buy a long sleeve shirt.
And look at Virat.
Yeah, and look at Virat and
Virat
go out
came
and
back.
bat. As well, at the time of recording, it's not back, but as of tonight, the AFL will be back. And I, for one, will be riding the Lions hard this year.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's our fucking time. So, but it also made me think, people are going to call us bandwagons and shit, but no, definitely not. But Brisbane, we are guilty of one thing, and whenever a team's running
Being
hot, we
awesome.
just jump on that team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because for so many years, no one gave a fuck about the Lions. Then we started winning again, and it's like, we're selling out the Gabba all the time.
Yeah. Same with the bloody A-League.
And the A-League, yeah. Brisbane Roar used to sell it out all the time.
Brisbane
Not anymore.
Heat.
Brisbane Heat. Definitely the Reds.
Definitely the Reds.
Definitely the Reds. They're probably
Definitely
the
the Reds.
biggest ones of that.
Brisbane don't mind a bandwagon.
Yeah.
But, you can't just sit at home all the time. So if your team's going well and there's live sport on, get out there and get around it.
Yeah, exactly. It's the lifeblood of
I
society.
don't think I could deal with caring as much about more than one team as I do about the Broncos because,
Dude,
my
you'd
entire
literally
life
be so
would be
upset.
misery. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least for the Bronx, it's only part of the year. Imagine if I cared that much. Yeah, it'd be horrible.
If you had 12 months of feeling like that,
But the worst thing about that would be, say the Broncos are going well, you're up and about, but then the Lions get pumped. You're like, whoa.
you're like, oh.
Just really.
It brings it back down to earth.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this fucking sucks.
I don't want to live on Earth this season.
Yeah, no.
I want to live on the moon with
moon.
Reece Walsh.
Reece Walsh is
Take me
a
to the
fucking
moon, Reece.
freak. Now, AFL, congratulations. We'll talk more about you once you're back. But the rugby union as well. There's a bit of a shifting in the stratosphere with sport in union, the teams. The Drua, Fiji, just beat the Crusaders this weekend.
Yeah.
And I think that's massive. Crusaders have just been winning all the time. So it's like the demise of the Crusader. The Crusade's over. It's done. They're done. New Zealand rugby, as a result, will also fall.
Yeah.
It's a World Cup year.
Big year.
Basically, the Wallabies are almost a shoe-in to win now.
The World Cup, you reckon?
100%. I've never been more confident in my life.
World Cup win.
World Cup win, World Cup season. It's just... all these things are coming together. I think we're starting to be like the cream and we're rising to the top. But New Zealand's, I don't know, they're curd. They're just getting fucking thrown out the side.
Mate, they've been up the top too long. They've gone off. They've curdled.
Yeah, they have curdled.
Yeah.
So I think they're done. On top of this as well.
Huge call.
Yeah, I think they're done.
Yeah.
France is, I honestly, if it's not the Wallabies, it's going to be France that win a home World Cup.
Yeah, I was going to say at home. It's going to be tough to beat them.
And the weekend's results from the Six Nations back that up 100%. England lost to them 53-10
That's
at their
disgusting.
own home field, bro.
53-10 is
53-10. But I could be a bit rogue here.
Go
But I'm
on.
wondering if there's a correlation between this. The demise of English sport and Queen Lizzie
dying.
English sport just hasn't been the same. So
Bazball.
Bazball.
That's actually been going pretty well, hasn't it?
And then they lost.
Did they?
Yeah. Actually, I've got to
Sucking.
give a shout out to this one bloke who joined the Frothies page the other day. I believe his name on Facebook is called, first name is Neil Wagner Hit.
Yeah.
And then his last name is Stuart Broad for a 6. So Neil Wagner is a bowler. And I just thought that is one of the funniest names. Neil Wagner Hit, Stuart Broad for a 6 is one of the funniest Facebook names I've ever seen.
That is
so
very
if
good.
you're listening, I fucking love that.
Yeah, that's
Shout
top
out
tier.
to
That's
you.
top tier.
All right, last couple of things to wrap up. NFL free agency. I fucking love NFL offseason. American sport, as we've said, is the best. It's the wild, wild west at the moment with their free agency. It started a couple of days ago. One of the things that's been rocking me is how much Aaron Rodgers is dictating the whole scene.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier today. It's unbelievable.
It's actually fucked. So he's currently the quarterback for the Packers.
Yeah.
But he is determining who the Jets are signing because there's talk he'll get traded to the New York Jets. So he's put out a wish list.
He's not even locked in yet, and he's already determining who else they're going to sign.
Exactly.
It's
So
fucked
they've
up.
already signed one of his receivers from Green Bay, and he wants 3 other people signed there. That's what his wish list is for the Jets. And then my favourite one as well was he owns the Bears because he just always fucks up the Bears whenever he plays against them. But it is just ridiculous that someone can have such power
many fingers
without
and
even
so many
being
pies.
it. And like, he's not even a top. Like, he's not even like a front office.
That'd be like Herbie Farnsworth going to Dolphins next year, being
Yeah.
like, "I want you to sign."
Yeah, Wayne, if you can
Tedesco.
if you can sign Tedesco,
Yeah,
and if you can get Payne Haas for me as well.
yeah,
Oh, and then also, if you don't mind, bring Ezra Mann with you.
yeah,
Then I'll sign.
yeah. and then Wayne's
ridiculous.
just going and doing that.
Yeah, and then it's like, but imagine if he doesn't sign now. He wants all these weapons signed there, and he's
And
like,
then he doesn't sign,
I'm
which
not
he could
actually
just
going to
do,
get
couldn't he?
traded.
Yeah.
Um,
That maybe could be his ploy, backdoor ploy.
It could be. But it's just, I don't know. There's so many things that happen in free agency. Like this other fella, Darren Waller, one of the best in his position, traded away from his team.
Dog.
It's like, why? You've just got someone new. And then the last thing is sort of a sourish note, but something that we have discussed a lot over the years and we still don't get is athletes being in such a high place and then just fucking throwing it away, it seems.
Yeah.
It's sad to see. At the moment, there's Ja Morant from the Memphis basketball team, the Grizzlies, and the bloke was seen like fucking flashing a gun around at a club. He's spent like 50 grand on piss and strippers.
Did you see the photo of the room?
Yeah, it looks fucked.
Literally covered in cash.
Covered in cash.
Someone was like, you actually have to get a rake to get this out of here.
It's ridiculous. And it's just like, why, when you're one of the best players in the league or just a professional sportsman, why throw that all away?
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. There's a couple of other instances that have happened. Like, there's a fella that was playing for the Las Vegas Raiders, Henry Ruggs, one of the quickest guys in the league, wide receiver. Fucking crashed a car at 156 miles per hour, which is 250 Ks into someone.
That's
killed
so
them.
fucked.
That's
so
ridiculous.
fucked.
Back on home soil, Benny Cousins
Yeah.
just went on to the world's biggest bender,
Yeah.
and just AFL career gone.
Gone. Sorry, Benny.
And then Benny Barber as well wins the Dally M, and then everything just goes downhill.
Yeah.
Like
Trying
unfortunate.
to fight someone or something.
Just trying to fight people. It's just fucked. And then someone who shouldn't be on the list, but always is for some reason, Todd Carney.
Yep.
We've spoken about him before and how doing a bubbler, you shouldn't be fined because, fuck, we would not be anywhere where we are if you got in trouble for every time
Exactly.
you did a bubbler.
Yeah.
Especially you.
Yeah. We'd be in a lot of trouble, that's
We
for sure.
would be. But look, I think that's us for the week.
That is us for the week. What a week.
It's been a lovely week. We'll be back on Monday.
Hopefully more Queensland dominance in the NRL this weekend.
Yeah. I'm very excited.
Me too. It's going to be a great weekend. Our Punters Club weekend. So stay tuned on our stories and stay tuned for the recap on Monday.
It's going to be
Baby.
good.
Wednesday. Sorry, we're recording it on Monday. Monday will be the froth line.
Monday's the froth line. That's
so
it.
tune in for that as well.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.